Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Global IT Group. So today I'm going to conduct a session for interest calculation. That is a very important chapter, or you can say the session for banking domain. So we'll see in today's session how the interest calculation happened. So today we are having the below agenda. We'll discuss about the interest overview. Then after we'll go for the interest calculation process, where we'll see the interest accrual, booking and calculations. I mean the application. And after that we'll see the accounting entries for the different kinds of accounts, liabilities and assets. And after that we'll see some important banking inputs like debit interest calculation, credit interest calculation. Then after base interest, what is differential interest, preferential interest, and effective rate of interest. And at last we'll see some important terminology for the banking interest, that is amortization, pegging of interest, interest version and interest slab. So today we are going to cover these many topics as part of today's session. So we'll see first of all what is interest. So as you see on the slide, interest earning is the primary source of income for the bank. Banks should always be able to assess their interest liability and interest asset at any time and reflect the same in profit and loss projections. Interest accrual, interest booking, and amortization are tools that assist the bank to meet the above objectives. So this is the overview for interest, how the interest earning will happen. So coming to the next slide, we are having interest calculation process. So we are having three part for the interest calculation. First is interest accrual. So we know what is interest accrual. So the process by which the system will arrive at interest amount which is either payable or receivable as on any date. This process generates only a reports and no financial transactions are created. So it is very important that as part of the interest accrual, there will be no any financial transaction. Only the interest amount will be calculated for the particular day and that will be stored in some data table for their further reference. This will ease the interest booking calculation. Also used for arriving the interest amount payable from to the customer. So in case uh, amount has to be paid to customer, then also it will be calculated. And if bank is supposed to receive interest from the customer, in that case also uh, this accrual will have happened. So accrual, booking and interest application, these three process will happen in all the three cases. Now coming to the interest booking part. So this is interest booking process where system creates a transaction for the amount calculated as on given date for profit and loss account depending upon debit, credit, interest. So actually this interest booking happens between the GL accounts, we can say the office account. So as per the product configuration, uh, this happens just before the interest application. So suppose there is an interest cycle for monthly, then on month end this interest booking will happen, and on the same date some accounting entry will happen. Those accounting entry will see in upcoming slides. So coming to the interest calculation and application part, so this is the process where the actual interest amount or collection happened on the customer account. So in this scenario for the interest application, uh, customer is involved. Either customer has to pay the interest or bank has to pay to the customer. So these two things will happen. First scenario, bank will receive interest from customer, and second scenario, customer receive interest from the bank. So this is the main part for the interest calculation process. We always remember interest accrual, interest booking, and interest application. Okay, so next slide we have accounting entries. So I have divided here in the two parts for saving and deposit accounts. These are the accounting entry we have. Like if you will see here, uh, first process will be accrual. So accrual, no transaction for both loans and advance also, and for saving accounts and deposits accounts also. Saving and deposits means our saving accounts, regular saving accounts we have with the banks, and deposits means TD, FD, RD, whatever. So this is deposits accounts, and loans and advances, uh, that is also accrual transaction having no any transaction entry. Coming to the second part for booking, so this is the interest booking process. So as part of interest booking for saving and deposit account, profit and loss account will debit and interest payable account will credit. Same for the loan and advance, interest receivable account will debit and profit and loss account will credit. So here you will see reverse. In the loan case, bank profit and loss account is getting credit, whereas for the deposit liability product, bank profit and loss account is getting debit. So here is the scenario we can understand that in the case of saving and deposit account, bank is giving interest amount to the customer, and here in the loans and advance, bank is collecting interest amount from customer, and the same amount is getting credit in his profit and loss account. The third and important activity, that is interest application. So for saving and bank account, uh, interest payable account will debit and customer account will credit. For loan and advance, customer account will debit and interest receivable account will get credit. I hope you guys will be clear with the accounting interest. Okay, so coming to the next slide, we have some important banking inputs. So one by one we'll understand uh, debit interest calculation. What is debit interest calculation? So calculation of interest on the debit balance in the account. So this is called debit interest calculation. Basically this will be the loan and advance availed by the customer. So this is the debit interest calculation definition we have. Coming to the next, this is credit interest calculation. So calculation of interest on the credit balance in the account, known as credit interest calculation, and deposit made by the customer in the bank and branch. So this is applicable for this credit interest calculation is applicable for all the liability products, whereas debit interest calculation is applicable for uh, assets parts. I mean the loans and advance. Okay. Continuing to the next slide, we having the base rate. So what is base rate? This is a reference rate which the bank use for deriving the lending and deposit rates. So this is a very important things. Base rate. So base rate can be set with the period slab or without period slab. Example, you can see here LIBOR, prime lending rate, and bank rates. So these are the some specific base rate we have. Differential interest. What is differential interest? So this is the rate charged over and above the base rate. Whatever the base rate we have defined in the application, either any of the core banking application, Finacle, FlexCube, T24. So suppose we have uh, prime lending rate. This is my base rate. So on this rate, whatever we are adding, that is known as differential rate. This is rate charge over and above the base rate. Means this, suppose we have a base rate as 10%, then differential rate whatever adding on 10, that will be known as differential interest. Depending upon the type of account, amount, period, customer, etc. This rate differs. Example I have given here. Suppose base rate we have 9% and differential interest rate we have 3%. So what will be the effective interest for your account? So that will be a sum of 9% and 3%, that is 12%. So hope you guys understand the differential interest rate. What is differential interest rate? So any interest that is above on the base rate is known as differential rate, and effective rate will be the sum of base rate and differential rate. Okay, coming to the next topic, we have preferential interest. What is preferential interest? Just like differential rate of interest, this rate also will be added to the interest rate during the interest calculation. So here we have both credit as well as debit. So by default, the preferential rate will be added to the interest calculation process, and hence a preferential rate with negative sign is deducted during the interest calculation. So preferential rate are available at three levels: customer level, account level, and channel levels. So these are the different three different levels we can apply this preferential rate. Next, we have effective rate of interest. So this is the rate arrived at by the system after taking into account base rate plus minus differential rate plus minus preferential rate. Could be a customer preferential, account preferential, or channel preferential. With example, we'll understand here. Suppose our base rate is 9% and differential rate is 3%, and customer or account preferential rate we have 2%, and channel preferential is 1%. So then what will be the effective rate? So see, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, 15%. So we'll sum all these rates: base rate, differential rate, customer or account level preferential rate, and channel preferential rate. So if you add these four different kinds of interest rates, effective rate of interest. So in this case, effective rate of interest will be 15%. Okay, so now this is the important terminology. We have amortization. This is a process by which the interest collected in advance is transferred back to profit and loss account in proportion to the number of days service and the total number of days for which interest has been collected in advance. So this is the definition for amortization. Next terminology we have pegging of interest. So this is a very important, freezing the rate of interest application for an account up to a specific period irrespective of any changes to the referred code. This is known as pegging of interest. During the entire period of pegging, the same rate will be applied for interest calculation. Next we have interest version. So this is a numerical number associated with the interest rate code to identify the correct interest code to be picked up during interest calculation. At the time of interest calculation, system automatically pick up the latest version available for that particular period. So actually this terminology we have in the core banking application Finacle. So just for your reference, in Finacle you will be able to get these all the fields in the application. If you go for any parameter setup or any kind of thing, so you'll be able to know there. Interest slab, next terminology we have. So what is interest slab? In bank, the interest rate is applicable based on the period and amount. The interest rates are differ for different amount range for debit balance and credit balance. So in Finacle, two type of interest slab can be maintained. One is credit slab and another is debit slab. So these are the things we have for some important terminology I have gathered here and tried to explain you guys. Hope you guys enjoys my video. Similar kind of things I'm planning for the future also. Like in Finacle, we are having n number of functionality. So one by one, I'll put on the table, and you guys can evaluate your knowledge. So here for your reference, I have listed some important Finacle menu option for your reference that is related to interest. So that's it for today. For your reference, I'll some of the menu I'll explain like interest accrual for account. If you want to see the interest accrual till particular date, we can invoke this menu option and we can see the interest accrual parts. So this is for accounts. For bills we have this menu, and again for booking interest booking accounts we have HAC book. This menu option you can invoke to know the interest booking of the application or account. So like that we are having different kinds of menu option here. So yeah, just one more thing. This menu option will run the specific ad hoc request. If you want to run any interest accrual for a particular account, run the interest accrual. For bill account, if you want to run interest accrual, we can using invoke this menu option and we can run the interest accrual. So like for booking and application also we have. If you want to book the interest for a specific account, we can invoke this menu and we can run the interest booking for that particular account. So for loan account, for commercial loan account, we have a different menu option. For bill also we have different menu option. And here is having the inquiry for accrual and booking of interest. If you want to inquire what is the amount for accrual and what is the amount for booking, using that menu option, we can inquire. So like that, we having different menu here. We can try and we can uh, explore the knowledge. So that's it for today, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please subscribe my channel, and yeah, definitely I'm going to plan for very interesting video in coming days that will be related to Finacle application or Decric application. Yeah, banking and insurance related topic I'm going to explore here, and I'll put here. So thanks guys, thanks a lot for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot.